Go ahead and get started. So let's start by bringing our awareness to the body, setting ourselves up in a comfortable, stable, upright position that's serviceable for meditation. So keeping our feet flat and stable on the floor, thinking about the back being upright and held up under its own power, trying to avoid over the course of the session beginning to lean or slouch, keeping our hands in the lap, right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching, forming a gentle triangle. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, letting in enough light to remain alert. The mind is alert and focused while the body is relaxed but stable. Try to notice if you hold tension in the face or the shoulders, just letting it go, relaxing into this stable, comfortable position. And withdraw your engagement with the room, pulling back and holding your attention just to the body and mind. Start to attend to the sensations that accompany the in breath and the out breath, just around the nostrils. When something other than that present moment sensation is arising in the mind, just notice that the mind has become distracted and then gently lift up your attention to that distraction and then place it back on that present moment physical sensation, trying to notice as quickly as possible and to elongate those periods of attention on that sensation of the air. and try to establish an altruistic motivation for your effort this morning, wanting to spend time developing your potential, your good qualities, to secure those benefits not only for yourself, but thinking how they enable you to more effectively benefit others. That our familiarities with negative, destructive states causes suffering for ourselves, but also motivates us to cause suffering for others. And our habituation to constructive, beneficial states brings peace and contentment to ourselves, but also motivates us to act in ways that benefit others. And of course, if your own goal is enlightenment, then assert a bodhicitta motivation as well. Recently, we looked at the 12 links of dependent origination, the psychological process that creates, that drives ordinary cyclic existence. And we saw that the root of that were these confused, afflicted states. So we'll do a few classes looking at the not only the three root delusions, but the list of the six root delusions. And their antidotes, what we can start to do day to day to confront and avert the operation of these painful states in our mind. So we'll start with what we would call attachment in English. This quality of obsessive fixation with something that we observe to be pleasant. This idea that in order, this sort of subconscious, unconscious idea that we have that in order to be happy, in order to be content, these objects that I think of as pleasurable must always be part of my experience. I must never be separated from them. That is the measure of contentment and happiness in life. So we'll start to spend some time contemplating the role that this has played in our lives. So reflect over the past few years or past week. What are some things that you feel that you relate to in this way? These could be inanimate objects, other people, roles, or ways of being in the world, a status, a reputation. Just try to identify the main ways in which you get stuck in this way. And thinking of some more recent examples, try to identify what this mental state, the arising of it, what it feels like in your body and mind. Do you find yourself more contented, more peaceful? What kinds of thoughts or actions tend to accompany this mental state? contemplate those questions. And try to think about what kinds of painful experiences you've created for yourself and also for others under the influence of attachment. Sometimes a person might take something that's not been given, they might lie, they might experience depression or addictive behaviors. So try to see the ways in which, in your own life, this has caused difficulties for yourselves, for others, and in your relationships with others. In trying to overcome this mental state, we can bring to mind the wisdom that understands that external objects, situations, people are undergoing a process of continual change. They never last in any two moments in being identical. The mind of attachment grasps at a permanence that the object itself lacks. So the mind of attachment is confused about the nature of the object. And that wisdom can counteract that confusion. We can think about the relationship between the energy of attachment and other negativities like jealousy, possessiveness, anger, constant dissatisfaction, pervasive insecurity and disappointment. We can think about how much time and energy and effort we've put into this mental state and how it has distracted us from having the time and the energy and the effort to put into a fruitful spiritual path. We can counter the mind that exaggerates the positive qualities of the object by coming to more realistic and holistic understanding that no object is entirely beneficial. There are always drawbacks, disadvantages, other parts that we are downplaying. To cultivate a more balanced and realistic understanding of the nature of the object. So think about these possible antidotes and just try to set a resolve in your mind to learn more about them and to try to remember them in daily life. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And then we'll dedicate. So recollect the altruistic motivation that you started with, and then the effort that you put into trying to understand the energy of attachment in the mind, and think that by meditating in this way, you've created a lot of positive energy, positive mental, karmic potentials, and that you offer that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking that when these positive energies ripen, may they ripen in the best way to support my own continued spiritual growth and development, so that I may be able to perfectly work for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. And may it create the causes and the conditions for the arising of my own enlightened state, the enlightened state of all sentient beings, and may it clear away any obstacles, any hindrances facing the Guru's long life and the long lives of His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, Lama Zopa Rinpoche, Geshe Sherab, Venerable Rabina, all of our spiritual guides. May their lives be long and stable and happy by having practiced in this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable.